Hey everybody, welcome to the GMB show. Today, I've got one of my friends, Danny Kavadlo, on here. How you doing, Danny?
I am spectacular, and it is amazing to be here today with you, Ryan. It's been a while.
It has been a while. I always love talking with you, man. The thing is because you're so low key, you don't get hyped up or excited at all. So it's always kind of a
Oh,
chill interview. Ha ha ha! Hey, listen, for those of you who don't know Danny, let me introduce him here. One of the world's authorities on calisthenics, nutrition, personal training. He flies all over the world. He does just teaches everywhere. Really known for his minimalist philosophy, feeds his strength, motivational gifts. He's got a couple books out. He's got a #1 bestseller, Diamond Cut Abs. We talked about that last time, right?
yes,
And
sir.
as well, Everybody Needs Training. He's got a new book out, and we'll mention a little bit about the end of the interview. But today, really, we're going to be talking about strength and why it's important. Because
Yes,
hey,
sir.
you know, I, I know the strength is great. We all got to have this strength, but I think that hearing what you have to say about this is very important. And let's just jump right into it. Is that cool? But anyway, before we start, how you been? I want to hear a little bit about what's new with you. What's going on, man?
I mean, life is ever changing, it's ever progressing. There's always things happening. And you mentioned strength earlier. And, strength, it's really adapting to the circumstances that you're presented with. So as life changes, as things evolve, true strength is persevering through everything, through the hand that you're dealt, getting stronger, getting better, not just in spite of your circumstances, but even because of your circumstances. So whatever I'm going through, it doesn't matter, man. I'm always getting stronger every day, Ryan.
I love it, man. That's what it's about. And I like to say, why are you strong? Our question is, what are you strong for? You've got to have that why. It just can't just be, I just want to do a lot of barbell, whatever, or something like that, just to get stronger. It's got to have that why for your life, and that's what I love about you and what you're doing. Let's get into a couple of the questions. And I just mentioned barbells, but you and I don't use barbells really. And I know you did in the past though. But why are you just focusing on body weight right now?
Well, it's funny because a lot of people say to me, "Hey, Danny," they're like, "Why are you the calisthenics guy? Why are you focused on calisthenics? I know you used to lift a lot of weights. I know you were doing the bench presses, the barbell squats, the deadlifts. What is it about the calisthenics, about the body weight that's attracted to you now?"
Mm-hmm.
And the truth is, I've always been attracted to bodyweight training. I mean, I'm 41 years old. I was born August 9th, 1974, in a scorching hot summer in Brooklyn, New York. And when I started working out, it was calisthenics. That's it, man. I have two brothers. We did push up contests, we did pull up contests. This is what we did. I didn't even know we were doing body weight. I just thought I was trying to not get my ass kicked when I walked home from school. Now, when I was a teenager, yes, I discovered strength training, weight training, external resistance, barbell training, call it what you will. And I squatted my barbells, and I bench pressed my barbells, and I overhead pressed my barbells. And to be perfectly clear, there's a lot of distinction right now. The calisthenics enthusiasts are very quick to say, "Hey, the calisthenics body is what we all want." The street workout people are saying, "Hey, this is the street workout body, not the bodybuilding body." And then the barbell people are saying, "Hey, man, I lift weights." The truth is, listen, man, strength training is strength training. The body moves the way the body moves. And whether you're swinging a kettlebell, whether you're lifting a barbell, whether you're doing a pull up, if you're working hard and you're putting in the time and the effort to manifest change within your body, then you're doing a service to yourself and everybody else in the whole damn universe. So as far as I'm concerned, I've done my pull-ups, I've done my push-ups, I've done my body weight, I've lifted my barbells, I threw my sandbags, I've swung my kettlebells. Right now, for the past several years, I like to focus on body weight. The thing that appeals to me about body weight is the minimalism of it. When you do body weight strength training, you don't need the barbell. You have just yourself and the environment around you. My feet are barefoot on the floor as I do a pistol squat. My hands have no gloves as I'm on the pull-up bar. I don't need any external equipment. It's the minimalism, it's the purity, it's the simplicity. And that, after going through so many things, weight, barbells, kettlebells, machines, sandbags, isolation equipment. That's what's brought me back to the purity of the minimalism of the body weight strength training. And that's really what I'm all about right now.
Dude, I love that. I mean, there's so many good things you just said in there. I agree with it all. It's not about just thinking you have to do one way or our way is better than the other, man. It's about getting stronger, and we all have different ways to do that. And it's that it's a way of creating our own music in a sense, And because you're a
Yeah.
musician and stuff, it's just this is our song that we're trying to create, and this is how we do it. So just what you said though, and look at it getting stronger. So what does strength mean to you then? Like, and we talked about, now you're into the body weight thing. And not that you probably don't go back and maybe do that every once in a while. I don't know. But the thing is what does strength mean to you? And more importantly, how do we get it? How do we get that strength?
How do we get that strength? That's a good question. Strength, we tend to focus on the physical aspects of strength. What's your bench? What's your squat? Or in the calisthenics community, can you do that muscle up? Can you do that pistol squat? How many pull ups can you do? But the truth is that strength is about bettering yourself.
Yeah.
Strength is about empowering yourself. Strength is about walking through the fire and getting stronger. Strength is about putting in the hours and the effort, time, the patience, and the discipline over days and weeks and months and years and coming out stronger. So how do we get stronger, man? I don't know. It's a great question. We get stronger by putting in the hours and the effort. And it's a funny thing because there's so much focus on instant gratification,
Yes.
on instant results, on all these things that we're constantly being bombarded with through the media, perpetrated here, this, that, whatever. And the truth is, nobody gets results from anything unless they're prepared to put in time, effort, and discipline. So that's really strength to me. If you've never done your first pull up and you finally did your first pull up, then you're getting stronger, brother. If you can do 20 pull-ups right now and you nail your first muscle up, then you're getting stronger right now, brother. And that's what I'm talking about today. Getting stronger for where you are in your place in the universe. Not compared to anybody else. Screw that, man. Compared to where you are and bettering yourself, empowering yourself, and getting stronger.
Hell yeah, man. Something with my days in judo is my coach always told me, just step on the mat. There are days when you don't want to do it. And and like what you said too, don't compare yourself to other people because we are us. We need to focus on us. Just step on the mat. Have the discipline to just say, okay, today I'm just going to just go a little bit further, and that little bit becomes a lot down the line. Doesn't matter where you are right now. You got to start. You got to stick with it. Get strong. I love it. So kind of going off on a little bit of different direction here, but if we look at weightlifting, right, and so we see people and they have their strength standards, and it might be like, for example, like a double weight body squat or body weight squat. What do you think about universal standards for strength?
That's a great question because if you are a competitor, right, you got those standards, the double body weight squat, 2.5 body weight deadlift.
Yeah.
You have these things. They absolutely exist in the strength training community. But just to talk about pure functional strength, pure tensile strength, not so much in your ability to move a foreign object, but in your ability to navigate yourself spatially throughout the universe. I would say a general standard, maybe not a benchmark, but a standard in terms of strength. I mean, I think anybody, before embarking on any advanced strength training or calisthenics training, should be able to do a good 40 body weight squats. Any man should be able to do a solid 30 perfect push-ups before embarking on anything advanced like a one-arm push-up. If we're talking about hanging from the bar, working that front chain, maybe 20 hanging knee raises, and I'd say 10 pull-ups is a solid standard that any grown man should be able to do. Now, not everybody's going to be able to do that right now today, but that's a good thing that everyone can work for. And once you've met those standards, well, then we could take it a little bit farther. But
Nice,
I'm going to
nice.
say, for a short answer, 40 squat, 30 push up, 20 hanging knee raise, 10 pull ups. And no coincidence, that's what we call the century test. It's 100 reps. That's what we do in our PCC, in our progressive calisthenics certification. Before you can be branded as an ambassador of calisthenic strength training, that's the benchmark that we want to achieve.
All right, so let's go into next question here, and I'm gonna read this off because what about the non-physical? We talked about the physical. Maybe there's some standards, but how would you gauge someone's strength beyond the physical? Pretty deep question, but
That is a very serious question. How do we gauge someone's strength beyond the non-physical? I mean, there's a lot of ways in this world that we can show our strength beyond the pull-up bar, beyond the dip station, beyond the bar lever and the almighty pistol squat. How do we show our strength? I mean, I believe that real strength comes from community. Something I try to
nice,
instill
yeah.
upon my son is to do good for other people. I try to practice an act of kindness every day. If I could help someone carry their groceries across the street, I'm going to do it. I live in New York City. We're about to embark on winter. There's going to be 2 feet of snow before I even know it. Me and my son, my neighbor to my left, my neighbor to my right, they're about 90 years old, man. We shovel their steps. We shovel their sidewalk every single winter. Now that is strength. What
Yeah.
else is strength? Strength is trying to rise beyond the negativity. If I look at the daily news, if I look at the nighttime evening news, or even my damn Facebook feed, all I'm going to see is negativity. I'm going to see cops shooting civilians. I'm going to see civilians shooting cops. I'm going to see all types of terrible crises. What I need to do to provide strength is to rise above that and walk out my front door every day and try to provide something positive for the universe. Take out the garbage, pick up a piece of trash off the floor and throw it in the garbage can. I made the community a better place. So how do we define strength? It's a great question, man. Yes, it's pull-ups, but it's also improving your life and the lives of the people around you and giving a little back to the community. My son, I picked him up from school today, man. This is actually, this is really cool. He talked to me about a food drive they were having because Thanksgiving is coming,
Oh yeah.
and what we can donate, what we can do, what we can bring. He's like, Dad, I'm really lucky because I have a trampoline in my backyard. And then he says, Dad, I'm really lucky that I have a backyard. And he's absolutely right. And we're talking about what we can do to contribute to help other people. Now, that's strength, man. The
Hell
fact that
yeah.
a 9-year-old kid that's thinking like that, he's thinking about strength. Not how many jumps he can do on the trampoline, but that he's lucky to even have a trampoline. And strength is really big, man. That's my answer to that one.
No,
Sorry, it
I
was so.
love it. And you're good. And the thing is, that's really cool is that you're a great role model for your son, right? And
Thank you.
so, I think that's a big part of it too. And you mentioned community is we're working together. And unfortunately, let's be honest, in the fitness community that we're in, there's a lot of people who just seem to want to just argue all the time. I don't get it. I know you don't get it. I don't see why we all just can't appreciate each other and understand that we're a little bit different and learn from each other. Hey, that's another topic for another time. But
Now, let
why
me
do you?
say this about
Yeah.
that, and this is for everybody who's listening right now, because in our community, right, in the fitness community, there's a lot of dogma, there's a lot of stigma, there's a lot of you're doing this or you're doing it wrong, you're doing that or you're doing that wrong. And the truth is, just don't indulge it, right?
Yeah.
I get a lot of people giving me love, and I get a lot of people giving me hate. For every person that says, "Hey, Danny, you motivated me," there's another person saying, "Oh, look at you, chicken leg, blah, 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 da, 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 this or that." And the truth is, just don't indulge it. Don't get
Right.
into it. When you argue with a hater, there's going to be 2 fools in the room instead of one. And you just got to leave it alone. Always take the high road, is what I'm trying to say.
Nice. I like it, man. So then how can we then become stronger? A lot of people have this problem. How can we become stronger both physically and well, let me rephrase that. Not even how can we become, but why do people have trouble with this? And so, just like what we're saying, you do have those haters and things and happens to me all the time too. Get people, love your work, but then other people are just like, dude, whatever. And I'm just like, okay, great. Well, I think there's something, there's a strength that they're not really getting there. So why do you feel that people have trouble getting strong both mentally and physically?
That's a good
Another
question.
very deep question, a tough question to answer, but yeah.
I mean, sometimes we're focused on the wrong things. As a culture here, we're very goal oriented
Yeah.
and we're
Yeah.
not very process oriented. So if you're goal oriented, you're going to say, I'm going to get 10 pull ups by January 1st, or I'm going to get a one arm pull up by January 1st, or I'm going to get that muscle up by January 1st. And that's thinking very much about the goal. Now, make no mistake, it's good to have goals. I
Yeah.
believe in visualizing goals and I believe in actualizing goals. But sometimes putting that time frame on things makes things very difficult. We're just very goal oriented and not enough process oriented. So when we focus on the process, we can focus on the day to day activities that are going to help us with that. Look, man, we all have goals. When I was younger, it was probably like 2006, right? I became obsessed with the one arm pull up. I saw some kid in Tompkins Square Park do a one arm pull up. I was already 31 at the time. I'm disclosing a little too much now. 2006, and I saw this kid do a one-arm pull-up in Tompkins Park, and I was like, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. I gave myself tendonitis trying to get to it because I didn't respect the journey. I was so focused on the goal. And consequentially, what happened is I had to not do any upper body strength training for like 4 friggin' months while my biceps tendons healed. And then finally in 2013, I got my first one on pull up 7 years later because I backed up. I decided, hey, I'm going to do a lot of things. I'm going to enjoy my workouts. I'm going to focus on other aspects than just goal, 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 goal. All we know is pain sometimes. All
Mm.
we know is goals sometimes. All we know is focus on this, that, and the other thing sometimes. But really, one of the things, you asked the first question about the body weight training versus the barbell training. One of the things that I love, that I enjoy so much about the calisthenics and body weight strength training is that it really embraces this playful side. When we get focused on that one rep max or that physical goal of the one arm chin, we get detached from the process that we get there. And I feel like so much of calisthenics, whether we're doing a flip or whether we're doing a push up, is a lot more playful and it's a lot less goal oriented. And I really enjoy that.
And I love it too. I mean,
I know
something
you
else
do.
too, coming back to something you mentioned is these goals and looking at these things, and let's be honest, people tend to overcomplicate things. And what I really like about you is coming back to something. Excuse me, I don't know what that was in my mouth, but
Uh,
but actually you mentioned this in your new book, Strength Rules, is that minimalism that is so important. And just cutting away the fat. Do you really need to be doing all this stuff? No, chances are no. So if you want to talk a little bit about that, how do we focus on that minimalism? How do we figure out what we need and what we should be working on?
we're in a very we're in a very product driven environment. I was having this conversation with somebody just yesterday. I was working out with them and we were talking about all these esoteric machines and gadgets and gizmos that exist within the gym and within the strength training community. And that's something we were really, really getting into is like, well, the body moves the way the body moves. I
Mm.
got my squat, I got my hinge, I got my body flexion, I got my horizontal push, my horizontal pull, my overhead pull. But until evolution changes and maybe the elbow will be a ball and socket instead of a hinge joint, the body is going to move the way the body moves. So sometimes we really just have to cut beyond the products. The modern
Mm.
day gym has only been in existence for a few decades.
Mm-hmm.
Mankind has been moving the way mankind has been moving since the dawn of evolution. We've been running, we've been jumping, we've been pushing, we've been pulling, we've been squatting, we've been lunging since the dawn of humanity. So
Mm-hmm.
it's only in the modern day when they had gym memberships to sell to people that they invented lateral pull down machine or some other strange esoteric gadget to isolate a certain muscle or a chain of muscles and make every other muscle in your body rest. So it's a tricky thing, man. But I mean, I think we need to focus on compound movements. I think we need to focus on self stability. I think we need to focus on that minimalism. How do we do it? We eliminate the bullshit. We cut out that which we don't need and keep only the things that we do need. And it's a hard thing to really ascertain. We're bombarded every single day with images by this product, whether it's a shake weight or a fat-free hot pocket or whatever, or a pharmaceutical pill, Lipitor, to lower your cholesterol, or a Viagra to raise whatever. We're bombarded with things that we need. But what do we need? What we need to do is take it back a step and just simplify things and work on the very basics. That's what we need to do. What do we need to do? We need to give what we got and do the best we can with whatever we have. That's what we really need to do.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, lots of good stuff coming out of this question. And so I think something too, looking at the machines and all the gadgets and all the new stuff that's coming out, it really takes our mind away from, being in the moment, right? So we don't have to think about stuff anymore. It's kind of just like, just do this and just kind of plug in. And I think that we're losing that awareness of really what's important in that presence. This is something, that you talk about how, what do you think about that as far as that presence, and how can we bring a better presence and awareness back to our workouts, back to our movements or whatever we're doing?
How do we bring awareness back to our movements? I mean, you have to just focus on what you're doing. Pay attention to details. It's attentiveness. It's pay attention to what you're doing. Do only one thing at a time. Give what you're doing your full attention. I don't care if you're doing a push-up or cooking a meal or gardening or washing the dishes or painting your house. Take tasks one step at a time and give them your full attention. Do the best you can. If you are painting your house, take the time to use that blue tape and tape off the areas that you don't want to smudge it. If you are doing your push-up, take the time to flex those abs and flex those glutes and make sure that your body is unhinging. If you're pruning your garden, take the time to remove those weeds and keep the flowers that belong there. It's about attention to detail, it's about articulation, and it's about designating time and respecting the process for certain things, whether that's cooking a meal for your family or doing a workout.
So basically what you're saying is when I do my squats, I shouldn't be checking my Facebook account while I'm doing it. Is that what you're saying?
No. Today, bro.
Oh, that's okay, right? That's okay, right?
You see that, right? You see
that?
No,
dude, it's just so funny. I mean, I'm just like, seriously? For real? All right, man, let's go into, we're talking about a lot of the body weight kind of things, but I do know that a question I get every once, and I'm sure you get it all the time, are supplements. And it's, what supplements are you taking? I gotta be honest, I don't take any supplements at all. Kind of I do the fish oil thing, which is kind of funny, the amount of fish I eat, but I'm trying it out.
Japan, bro.
I know, it's just like, exactly, right? I'm trying it out, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to see how that goes, but I don't take any other supplements. What about you? What are some of the things that people some of the things people get hung up on? You have to have creatine, right? You got to have your branched chain amino acids, right?
People are shocked that I don't take any supplements. In fact, I had that book you mentioned, the #1 Amazon bestseller, Diamond Cut Abs. It got this great review on one website, and this guy was talking about all these great things about it. He was listing pro after pro after pro, and the way the site was formatted, he had to list a con. And the cons that he listed was, does not endorse supplements. So this is a sensitive issue for some people. Now, me personally, listen, man, I bought into the hype of supplements for more years than I care to admit. I would when I was a kid, I had this job at this restaurant in the city, right? So I live in Brooklyn. I would ride to 23rd Street in Manhattan on my bicycle. I'd wake up at 6 a.m. I'd get on my bike. I'd ride my bike to the city. It's about 10, 12 miles. I would set up the restaurant. Then I would dissolve 2 scoops of creatine in the high carbohydrate beverage. I no longer eat creatine or high carbohydrate beverages at this point. And then I would have my protein powder after my workout, all this, all that. I'm proud to say that I'm 41 years old and I haven't had a supplement, even whey protein, in at least 10 years. And
Cool.
it's funny because when I tell people that I don't take supplements, they're like, okay, yeah, but what protein powder do you use? I'm like, no, Jack, I don't use any protein powder. Here's what I do. I eat lots of plants and lots of animals.
Nice.
Okay, I try to eat fruit and vegetables every day. I read Never Let Go by Dan John, and he says
Good
eat
book.
protein and fiber with every meal. And I'm like, you know what? That makes sense to me. Eat protein and fiber with every meal. So I have protein and I have a vegetable with every meal. I read The Primal Blueprint by Mark Sisson, and he says eat plants and animals. I'm like, that makes sense to me. Eat plants and animals. Okay. So this morning, what did I have for breakfast? I cooked up a pound of bacon. I shared it with somebody, but I cooked up a pound of bacon, took it out. I fried up some broccoli and onions in the bacon grease. I put the bacon back. I fried up the whole thing together, put on some hot pepper flakes, squeeze some lemon juice on it, and that's breakfast. Bacon, broccoli, onions, lemon juice. Okay, that's cool. So to me, I got everything I need. I don't really need supplements. I found that now that I don't have any supplements, not even protein powder, I mean, I'm leaner and I'm stronger. I mean, I'm 41 years old, man. I could outrun, outthink, and outlift who I was when I was 21. So to me, the supplements just don't make any sense.
I love it that you and I, as we get older, we're getting better. Isn't it
I
cool?
love talking about
Yeah.
being old, man. I
Yeah.
can't wait till I'm 51.
All right, man. I want to go into some not personal, but kind of some fun questions for you. What are some of your go-to strength moves? Some of the things you're doing, like you. I'm not talking about what you would have somebody else do. I'm talking you, man. Like some of the things you do right now, where you're like, you know what? I love doing this. What are
I
some of
mean,
those
my
moves for
favorite
you?
moves. I mean, look, just to be perfectly clear, I do the basics every time I train. I do my squats, I do my lunges, I do my push ups, I do my pull ups, I do my dips. Now, that being said, some of my fun moves, I mean, the human flag, that's my shit, right? I mean,
Yep.
that's my thing. So
Yep.
I do human flag training. I'm finally able to get a full front lever off the bar. I'm able to hold it
Sweet.
for a few seconds. It took me about 7 years, but it's a process, like I said,
Yeah, it
right?
is, man. It
Not
is.
goal oriented, we're process oriented. So I finally got my front lever down.
Congrats. Cool.
Still working on improving. You know, the thing is, I'm working on improving the skills that I'm very passionate about. I love the
Nice.
muscle up. I had the muscle up a long time, but right now what I'm working on is getting it even cleaner. No bend at the knee, straight up over the bar. So I'm working on improving all those calisthenic skills. My handstand could always be improved. If I have an arch in the back, maybe I could do slightly less of an arch at the back, or maybe I can't. But these are the things that I'm working on. So those are my things. Those are my fun things. One-arm push-ups, I work on them at least 2 days a week. I have for years. So, it's good you asked that because a lot of people think that these are my money moves. People see
Mm.
YouTube or people see Instagram or people see these things. They're like, oh, the one on push up, the human flag. But these are things that I train frequently throughout the week. It's a process. It's attention to detail. You don't
Yes.
suddenly
Yes.
own an exercise and there it goes.
Hmm.
You keep working on it. You keep refining it,
Yeah.
and you keep improving it, and you don't lose it. It becomes a part of who you are, but you don't ever really own it because it owns you. You got to pursue it in order for it to be a part of your life.
Constant process. Yeah, I love it. That's good, man.
Yeah.
All right. So, what's a little bit of final advice for our listeners? How do you get strong and how do you stay strong for life?
I mean, those are both very good questions, and I'm going to address them one at a time. How do you get strong? How do you get strong? You get strong with effort and attention and consistency. It doesn't even matter what your workout is. If you're working hard and you're exerting and you're pushing yourself and you're doing it frequently, intensely, and consistently, you will get strong. How do you do it for life? Now, that's a little bit harder for a question. How do we do it for life? Because in life, we are sometimes confronted with the unexpected. We're sometimes confronted with things that we cannot control. So it's very easy on a piece of paper to say, okay, Monday and Tuesday I'm doing this workout. Wednesday is my day off. Thursday I'm doing that workout. Friday is cardio. And Saturday is legs, or whatever the fuck it is, right? So it's very easy to say that. But when we wake up in the world and we're grown-ups that live on the planet Earth, sometimes things happen and these things are not what we expect. So how do we stay strong? We stay strong by taking whatever obstacle is thrown at us and rising above it. We accept it. We embrace it. We take it in and we get stronger because of it. You know, every single one of us, I've gone through a lot of crazy stuff in this last year on a personal, deeply personal level. My world, my universe got rocked in this last year. And I'm going to tell you right now that it's probably the best thing that ever happened to me. Because what that taught me is that no matter what life throws at you, you take it, you embrace it. Sometimes you're going to take a hit, sometimes you're going to get knocked down, but you can't doubt yourself. Because no matter what your situation, you could be Danny Kavadlo, you could be Ryan Hurst, you could be anybody in any town in the world, and we're all going to be faced with our demons. We're going to all be faced with our doubts. And when you have those demons and when you have those doubts, you have to stand up and you have to challenge them. You have to look those doubts in the eye and challenge it and say, hey, justify your existence. Why does this doubt exist? Why can't I surpass this? And when you really make those doubts face themselves, face you, face me right in the eye, they're going to have to justify their existence and they're going to have to explain themselves, and they can't, because everything that happens to you, everything that happens to me is a result of what we do. I could blame my ex-wife. Homegirl could blame her ex-husband. I could blame the president of the United States of America. I could blame my boss. I could blame my friend. I could blame my family. But the truth is that everything, for better or for worse, that's ever happened to me is my own fault or my own cause. I made it happen. And once we can embrace that and we can accept that, then we're free and we can move forward and we can accept the change and not just be stronger in spite of the change, but be stronger because of it. So when you talk about strength for life, it means respecting the road, respecting the journey, and understanding that everything that happened is because of us, man. We choose our own fate. I'm not one to pass the buck, man. I'm the first one, you know, when I was a kid, I'd point the finger at somebody else. Oh, he did that. When I was a teenager, angst and this and that. That was the hot shit in the 90s, you know, angst. But now it's like, as a grown-ass man, it's just, we're accountable for everything we have, for better and for worse. And hopefully we can embrace that and work on that and make it for better. So how do we sustain the strength? We sustain the strength by working on ourselves and finding out who we really are and working on our own personal evolution.
Nice. We have that choice. We can make that choice. We decide if we're going to make it a positive one or a
Everything.
negative one, right?
You decide everything.
And this is good. I think this is a really good time to bring up your new book then. And so strength rules. And it's really cool about the book is not, of course, you know, we're talking about the physical, but there's a big mental side of it in your book that I really like. And so where can we get more information about this book? Where can we get more information about you and everything that you're doing, man?
I mean, my book, I just got it in the mail today. Strength
Yeah.
Rules. This is how to get stronger than almost anyone and the proven plan to make it real. So this is not just 80 plus body weight strength training exercises. This is the personal journey, the spiritual journey, the emotional journey, and the sustainability of walking through the fire and becoming out stronger because of it. This is everything. We're talking about tensile strength within the muscles. I'm just flipping up random pages. We're talking about things that make you go, We're talking about mysteries. We're talking about, of course, the push up. We're talking about, of course, the dip. We're talking about everything here, beautifully illustrated, over 300 photographs and original artwork. Where do we get it? We get it at dragondoor.com, baby. We find out more about Danny at dannythetrainer.com, baby. Hit me on Facebook at Danny the Trainer. This is where we find out about all this stuff. But strength rules. Get it at Dragon Door, get it on Amazon Kindle, get it at everywhere, because this is it, man. This is the ultimate definitive work on true strength. Not bodybuilding strength, who's going to win in the beauty pageant. This is not strength, who's going to win in the sport specific workout. This is about real strength, pound for pound strength, tensile strength. Not so much in how to move a heavy object, but how to navigate yourself throughout the universe. This is about strength in the head, in the heart, in the soul, in the body. This is Strength Rules by Danny Kavadlo. You need to buy it today. Was that a little too far?
No, man, that's good. Just take it up to 11, man. These amps go to 11. That's where it's at, right? I love it. We're going to have all the links here for you guys. Check that out. If you haven't been following Danny on Facebook, do. A lot of good stuff that he posts on there. As you can tell, very passionate about what he does, and that's why I love him so much. So, all right, man, thank you so much for chatting with me. It's always a pleasure. And everyone, go out, get the book. Later.
Buy the book. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you, man. For more great info, join us over at gmb.io. And be sure to check us out on iTunes and YouTube.